Good morning, everybody. We say welcome to our distinguished NAB guests, led by their Honorable Chairman, Chairman CCP, and Honorable members of the Commission and officers. We'll start with a recitation from the Holy Quran.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu ista'inu bis-sabri was-salat.
I request you all to rise for the national anthem, please. The signing of this Memorandum of Understanding is a decisive step towards safeguarding the integrity of our procurement processes and ensuring that taxpayers' money is spent wisely and transparently. Through this partnership, the CCP and NAB will work together to root out bid rigging and collusive tendering practices that undermine fair competition and stifle economic growth. I'll now invite Chairman CCP, Dr. Kabir Ahmed Sidhu, for his opening remarks. Chairperson.
Senior members of NAB, esteemed members of Competition Commission, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and good morning. Today is a matter of great privilege and pride for me to welcome the Honorable Chairman here today. Today is also a very important day for us. We're going to be signing MoU with NAB. It's going to formalize intra-agency collaboration. Pakistan spends a huge amount of money in PSDP funds. Federal government spends a huge amount of money. Last year they spent something like 789 billion rupees. Across Pakistan, other provinces also spend huge amount of money. The total amount comes up to something like 2.2 trillion Pakistani rupees. But there's no method in place to ensure that procurement process is transparent and there's no collusive tendering and bid rigging that's taking place. Now, what we do is we regulate the anti-competitive practices, we regulate the cartels, we prosecute deceptive marketing practices, and we also regulate mergers and acquisitions. So every transaction that comes in Pakistan that goes through CCP, we try and make sure there is concentration of the market is not taking place. The situation in Pakistan has been such that since 1970, from nationalization to privatization, there are a handful of players who are operating in each sectors. Especially in the procurement sector, there is no method in place to ensure that contractors are joining hand when they are bidding for procurement contracts. Now, CCP sent its staff members to Korean Fair Trade Commission in 2019 to get training in using their system in identifying the collusive bidding. Dr. Ikramul Haq, who has a PhD in IT, he went there, he got the training. Later on, we coordinated with Competition Market Authority in UK and we were using their system. Then we were collaborating with World Bank, who was assisting PEPRA at the time to devise EPAD system. We wanted to have access to EPAD system. By now, we had devised around BRAD. BRAD stands for Bid Rigging Analysis and Detection System. We haven't used it as much because we didn't have the data. We've been trying to get the data from PEPRA, but we haven't been successful so far. Now, I understand that NAB has access to all the data of all the contracts which exceed 50 million rupees. Though that data can be highly useful for CCP. We have trained staff and we have a system in place that can give us leads, that can generate lead for us to then investigate. Now, what we do normally, we quite recently raided power sector companies and we managed to get hold of the data that was so compelling that they are now prepared to plead leniency to us. But this will be probably the second case of leniency. Now, I understand national accountability operates by criminal standard of proof, which is beyond reasonable doubt, and it's very difficult to attain that standard of proof unless they have a solid evidence. I mean, we often struggle on balance of probability on a civil standard to get the evidence that we can prosecute the undertaking. There are numerous ways of coordinating with each other and sharing price sensitive, commercially sensitive information with each other, which makes it very difficult for us to then get hold of the right evidence and then to prove in the court. Sometimes the evidence is so strong that we have that it meets the criminal standard. We believe that information can be shared with NAB, and similarly the information that we gather from NAB, the data that can enable us to generate lead, because we have the capacity and capability and the system in place. Pakistan sadly ranked very high on International Corruption Perception Index, and I think this smart enforcement collaboration will lead to deterrence. So that's where the importance of this MoU comes in. I think both organizations complement each other. In many other countries, they have a civil system in place whereby they penalize the undertakings, but at the same time they have a criminal procedure in place whereby they prosecute them in the criminal courts as well. Now, sometimes it takes a lot of time with our cases. We go through Competition Appellate Tribunal, we then go to Supreme Court. On the other hand, the NAB law is far stricter. If the evidence we gather, we could provide you in procurement, we can make sure that we safeguard the public interest. And these contractors can provide best value for money. So once again, I'm very grateful for the Honorable Chairman to grace us with his presence here today. And I think our collaboration will lead to very smart and enforcement and deterrence, better deterrence. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Chairman NAB, it will be a pleasure for us to hear your thoughts today.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Dr. Kabir, the executive members of Competition Commission of Pakistan, senior officials, my colleagues from NAB, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. Let me begin by extending my profound thanks to Dr. Kabir, you and your team for inviting us over here this morning and hosting this very impressive function. And this is ultimately would lead us to sign an MoU. We're honored, we are grateful. It's a short speech that you made. It's very comprehensively outlines the lofty objective that you have identified for both the organizations. I sincerely believe the strength lies in unity. Together we can make it happen, inshallah. This set of expertise that resides here, and there's something that perhaps we can put a claim that we are proficient at. So there could be a good fusion, and with this fusion we can achieve far more in less time frame, inshallah. It was very exciting. My thanks once again for conceiving this partnership, this collaborative model, and initiating the first move. We've been signing MoUs, but the briefing that I had yesterday and this morning, my only regret was why today, why it shouldn't have happened many years ago. So Dr. Kabir, you and your team, I want to reassure you that we won't find us lacking. We're just a call away. It will be a pleasure, a collaborative, a shared responsibility to stem corruption and collusive practices from our beloved country. The challenges are there, daunting challenges. Some of the support that you expect from other stakeholders, some of them that you alluded to, that support perhaps at times is wanting. So one thing that I would like to share with you, that in our arsenal we have a weapon called review of all the rules and regulations. Luckily that has not been tampered with. So if there is one set of rules or regulations, or enactment, constitutional enactment that prevents us from operating and delivering optimally, so we can review and can recommend the legislature to make those legislations to curb, the ill practices, the bad practices. So on that account, I think the more we will interact, we'll come to know, the strength, weaknesses of each other, and with this collaborative effort, we should be able to achieve our respective objectives. Collusive practices, corruption, white-collar crime, cartelization. This is something, it concerns us. NAB also. We are also confronted with the same set of challenges, perhaps far more, complicated. But I believe in a plan and the will, and alhamdulillah, I can put a claim that we have both. The challenges are there, and so is our resolve. I'm sure with this fusion, there will be a lot more that we can achieve in earlier time frame. I have my conviction. There's something also like to make an enormous confession about, that is that we perhaps lack this sort of expertise. The mega crimes, the collusive practices by the heavyweights, and you have a fair insight into what is happening behind the scene, and we have those investigative skills, prosecution skills. So we'd like to benefit from your expertise, and we'd like to know what is preventing you from operating and delivering optimally. It's just the beginning for hopefully a very long and a rewarding journey. Let's make the first step. As they say, a journey of 1,000 miles begins but with a step. So this is the first step, and inshallah very soon we'll be at the objective, at the destiny. One thing I'm absolutely sure about is, the promise that the future holds for our beloved country. You've seen some jubilation, positivity, buoyancy returning into our, in this set of environment in which we operate in the last 2-3 days. I'm talking about the real intention. Something that we perhaps lack, the resolve, the self-confidence in ourselves. So that has been restored, I think, in last couple of days, alhamdulillah. So Pakistan is a force to reckon with. Now we have to make it an economic powerhouse for which is absolutely poised. It is all the wherewithal to make it happen in an earlier time frame. So with that lofty objective in mind, so we proceed ahead. Inshallah, we'd like to benefit from your expertise. We'd like to extend you all the tools that we have in our arsenal, in our, the NAB, whatever that is at your disposal. What I can suggest here, that in about 2 months' time, we'll be, operationalizing our academy. We are calling it PACA, Pakistan Anti-Corruption Academy. We call it a state of the art, and we believe that one day we'll make it a state of the art. We'll bring all the regulators, investigative agencies under one roof to work out, the strategies, and to ensure cross-disciplinary sharing of information, expertise, and to have a more unified approach to all the problems which affect Pakistani economy. So I'll be very glad to offer some, what you call it, on the faculty of PACA. If you can be kind enough to spare your experts as a faculty member, if not permanent, maybe on the visiting side, and then we can also start with, some research studies, sectoral studies, energy, power, cement, sugar. These are the major cartels that I just mentioned, and a few more are in the offing. So somehow, the mandate given to, or being shouldered by this new organization, it is directly or indirectly linked with the mandate, the very core of responsibility entrusted to NAB. So I'm getting that vibe, inshallah. This will be a very, very productive partnership. You said something about procurement. Honestly, we are bleeding. We're bleeding to death because of this very outdated procurement regime that has been imposed on us. A lot of good resources, precious resources get wasted. So we are mandated to review all the major contracts. And I'll make a very honest confession. We can't handle the workload. Thanks God, the smaller contracts have been taken off our jurisdiction. We can only concentrate and perhaps look into the major, the mega contracts, more 500 million and above. So that is corresponding reduced our workload. But that is one particular area that I would like to, that we should, this should be the area to get our main focus. There has to be a collaborative arrangements made. I'll be very glad to have an officer or your representative either working as a point of contact or getting posted to NAB. So, there is a absolutely seamless coordination between the two entities. So, make a choice. The contracts, mega contracts, how to, put fear of God in their hearts, those who are looting and plundering our beloved country. And somehow they devised this method, this whole evil game in such a pleasant facade, behind a facade, that it's difficult to really prosecute them. Because it's all because of the collusive practices, the regime that they have created. And then whenever you try to get hold of them, they go and hide behind the judicial process that we have. That prevents and takes out the steam out of the whole effort. That is a challenge that I think together we need to find a way out. So these are some of the off the cuff random thoughts that I had to share with you. So to suffice to say that I'm very pleased, very excited. Inshallah, you have my word that we'll make it happen. And you work out the way out, you work the phases, identify the priority, we'll go by that. Thank you once again for having me here this morning and for initiating this big step, a big initiative. And I give you my word that inshallah you won't find NAB wanting in terms of our response. May Allah bless you all. Thank you so much. Pakistan, Zindabad.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'd like to commence with the signing ceremony. May I invite the representatives of the CCP, Ms. Mariam Pervez, and DG Operations of NAB, Mr. Mohammed Tahir, to please come to the stage.
Isn't it customary to collaborate on this idea?